again. Welcome to Writerly Witterings, and this is a special one because this is getting close to Christmas. As you can see, we've got the gingerbread out. My daughter had some friends around last night, which is why there's not much gingerbread left, but never mind that, I don't blame her much. This time though, we thought we'd do something that could be a little bit more useful. We've had several people ask what are the most important things that they can get for their kids who are interested in writing. So we thought, good, things that will be useful for other people if they want to write. It sort of starts off with things like, paper, pens, things like that. So, on the front of paper, what sort of paper can you get? I heartily recommend the MIDORI Traveller's Notebook, which is dead simple. It's just a sheet of leather with an elastic band or multiple elastic bands which hold in different notepads, and I use it all the time. Sometimes I'll have sheets which refer just to books and characters. That's this section. Then I've also got a section which is for day-to-day notes and ideas I need for other stuff that are not related to books. And then I also have a fantastic diary system which is analogue based, and I might go into that some more another time, but there isn't time today. So, a decent notebook. As well as this, I also very happily use these things. The old Moleskines. They're very popular, everybody's heard of them generally. Very nice paper, but the paper is not good if you use fountain pens. It soaks it up. This stuff is very good quality Japanese paper, so even these sheets, which are incredibly thin, still work very well even with a fairly robust fountain pen. As well as them, I use a lot of Rhodia, and oddly enough, one of the notepads I've found most recently that's been one of the best has been from a company called Office Depot, which you wouldn't expect cheap office goods to be very good, but their paper is really very good quality indeed, and doesn't soak up anything at all. Anyway, so that's paper. Of course, the next thing is that if you're writing, you really can't do without pencils and pens and things of that nature. I've just collected a whole bunch of pencils, as you can see, from my parents who are moving house, and I've got pencils here that go back to the turn of the century, last century I think. Johannes Faber, manufacturer, made in Bavaria, it says. Lovely bit of paper. But although I love all of these, the ones that I really come down in favour of are these, the Tombow Mono 100s. I get these in fairly large numbers from Cult Pens, who are an exceptionally good supplier of such things. But that's not all I use. I also, as my favourite pencil of the present moment, use this, which is a Pentel Super Pro Mecha. And this pen is just brilliant because it is a 0.5 millimeter thick lead in there, but you may notice that you can screw in and out the end, so depending on how you want to write you can adjust it, and then you can also here adjust the amount of lead that's pushed out every time. So I've got it set to a fairly low setting. As you can see, very tiny amount comes out. But what's really good is that when you want to go around and walk around, you screw the end in like that and you can't stab yourself, which is the problem I always had with, for example, this one, where the end will not screw in. So I like these. Super Pro Mecha it is, 0.5 mil. But of course there's other types of writing too. I do like using these things. Simple Stabilo, very fine fibre tip. And what this is good for is for little sketches when I'm out and about. It's not good if you want to do pen and wash because this ink is not water safe, but for just taking notes, very good. When I'm at home though, I always have my Visconti HOMO SAPIENS. The reason why I like this pen is it's got a beautiful, beautiful nib. It feels good in the hand. It's quite chunky, but it's not too heavy, and it's made of this wonderful material that's made out of crushed volcanic lava from Etna, I believe, and it's then bonded into a rubbery, plasticky fixing, which is absolutely rock hard, really, really strong. And just having it pointed out to me that this is mentioned in another video earlier on, which was my tools video, writing tools video. So you can find out a bit more about it there if you want. Very useful. One pencil that I haven't mentioned yet though is this, which is a Faber-Castell pencil. Strange Faber-Castell triangular shape, strange Faber-Castell knobbly bit so it doesn't slide out. And this is a highlighter pen. I used to use the little ink highlighter pens, which were so good, really, really handy. They do highlight things, they do make things stand out. These, however, are pencils. They never ever dry out. All of the other ones, I'd stick them in a drawer. Next time a proof came, the damn thing was always dry. It wouldn't work. This works every time. I use it moderately regularly, but not that regularly. But I've always got something worth there that I can use to highlight any errors or miscalculations I've done. Another tool for writers, well, simple idea. If you can, if you've got a writer or aspiring budding author who is actually getting on and doing a lot of writing, get some of these. Simple little post-it stickers that you can put where any typos or errors are on a sheet of paper. Really, really useful. These were dirt cheap. I got them from Lidl's. I think they were something like £1.99 for a huge number. That will do several books. So that's good. In addition, let's see, how far have I got? Oh, we've got down to there. Right. So, next thing is, if you've got youngsters who are using computers, if you've got adults who are using computers, come to that. If you've got people who are trying to get involved in creative writing, if they are trying to get involved in writing lengthy documents, so you've got students at university doing essays, doing dissertations, anything like that, the best software to use is Scrivener. It was recommended to me many years ago by an Apple Store employee who had been studying at Exeter University, and he used it to write his thesis. I can see why now. I've written about 10 books on Scrivener. Apart from that, a book for aspiring authors is Writing for Pleasure and Profit by Michael Leggett. It's the book that started me off 20 odd years ago, and I can still thoroughly recommend it for any modern writer. I don't know if it's been updated at all, but Michael Leggett used to be an agent and then went into writing himself. And it's just a fantastic book. It explains all of the difficulties, all the pitfalls and everything else. It doesn't go into electronic books, but most people, if they are serious aspiring writers, would prefer to go with a publisher for very good reasons. The publisher is there to help. So I can thoroughly recommend that. And finally, as a book, I got this many years ago, the Compact Oxford English Dictionary. Not just because it is a very convenient book to have in terms of explaining everything, but because this, the Compact OED, also at the back has a fairly large section on effective English, where to use punctuation, how to use it, how to use, all the elements of practical writing are in this. Thoroughly recommended book. That now has been a fairly rapid storm through everything I would recommend you could buy for the aspiring author. There's one other thing, of course. That is, all authors need to have that little bit of peace and quiet and time to refresh the brain cells. So clearly what you need to buy, any aspiring author, is a complete set of all of my books. And then you're done. You've done everything you can for your aspiring writer. Having said that, I think it's time that I wound up. So if you've got any comments, if you've got any questions, if you've got any points you'd like to raise, please don't forget to put them down at the bottom there. Please share it, subscribe and all those good things, and I'll see you soon, I hope. And now I'm going to have a bit of gingerbread. Cheers, take care.